So guys, there's news, and Eddie Hearn is providing this news. Now, Eddie Hearn's been talking a lot lately. He's been putting news out there that not everyone's going to be agreeing with, but he has recently said that Canelo Alvarez wants to fight in Mexico, and he thinks John Ryder is going to be the next fight. Now, that would be a bizarre fight to have in Mexico. John Ryder, he's not really a big star or a big name. So for Canelo to be fighting John Ryder in Mexico would be a bit strange, a bit weird. But yeah, like Canelo does want to fight in Mexico again. That he did say that he wants to bring a big fight there, but that wouldn't be a big fight. I was thinking that maybe a fight with someone like David Benavidez in Mexico would be massive. Maybe they could fill out a 100,000-seater stadium. Fight with John Ryder would be a bit underwhelming. There was also rumors that he might fight. He might fight in the UK, and obviously he might fight John Ryder in the UK. There was rumors that he's going to make his UK debut, but I don't know what's going on with Canelo at this point. But we all want to see Canelo fight. We all want to see Canelo get back in it, get back on, see how he looks after the surgery. Now I want to see Canelo in a big fight. Obviously, John Ryder is not a big fight. It's a fight that Canelo should win. But nonetheless, I think he probably needs to have a tune-up after his surgery, just to see if he's okay, just to see if everything's in order, if there's no issues. So yeah, a fight with John Ryder, not to be disrespectful to John Ryder. John Ryder is a very good fighter, solid fighter. But Canelo should be able to beat John Ryder pretty comfortably. And then after that, then we're looking at Dimitri Bivol, David Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade. These are the names that Canelo then needs to be looking at, not anyone else. He needs to be looking at big names, your Beterbievs, your Bivols. These are the fights that I would like to see Canelo win. I think those are the kind of fights that Canelo needs to be in, and those are the kind of fights that gets the fight fans' juices flowing, because we want to see Canelo in big fights, and those are fights that are worthy of Canelo Alvarez. Those are the kind of fights that get us up in the morning, early hours of the morning, because we know that those are difficult, tough fights for Canelo. So yeah, those are interesting watches, competitive fights. So let's see, man. Let's see if we can get a Canelo Alvarez fight with someone like a John. We can get the Canelo fighting Dimitri Bivol, Beterbiev, and all these guys. But the John Ryder fight is a good, yardstick to see where Canelo's at in terms of his after the surgery. Is he going to be back to what we know? Is Canelo going to be past his best? Canelo hasn't been looking great in his last couple of fights. Is that because he's sliding on the other side? Is that because he's getting past his best? Or is it because of the fact that he was injured and he was fighting injured? Only time will tell. If he doesn't look great after this, then, I think we'd have to start looking at him as maybe a fighter that might be on the other side of his career. Can Canelo come back? Can Canelo can Canelo come back from that surgery and show us, it was actually the injury that he had that was hampering him. But I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about the John Ryder fight. I think it's one of those fights in Canelo's career where you could look at it as like Canelo hasn't got a lot of time left and he's going to put more wear and tear on his body in training camp, getting ready for it. Or do you want to just see Canelo in big fights? I don't know, but I think obviously Canelo still feels that he's still got a lot left, and you have to manage him carefully. He's been beat by Dimitri Bivol. You don't just want to stick him in there with a monster again and potentially get beat. But yeah, I think a John Ryder fight, and then after that, I should be going into a massive fight, and hopefully we get some big fights, because that's what I want to see. I don't want to. I want to see big fights. I want to see Canelo in big fights. Those are the fights that we want to see Canelo in. Canelo for me is the guy that I want to watch, because his fights are massive for boxing. His fights are entertaining. I like his fights as well. So yeah, Canelo Alvarez's fights are fights that I think most boxing fans look forward to, and unfortunately we haven't got any marquee stars in world boxing anymore. They all seem to have retired or gone, and Canelo's the only one. Canelo's probably a dying breed in terms of he's probably one of the only biggest stars. Him, Joshua, Fury, guys like that. But he's one of the very few, Canelo, and when Canelo's gone, especially in America, I don't think there's anyone that's that big. And the crazy thing is, when someone like Canelo Alvarez goes and retires, who is there coming through that is going to take over the pay-per-view? market, because a pay-per-view market, I mean, you can't see anybody in the future doing anywhere near 1 million pay-per-view buys. I mean, it's going to be very tough. I mean, the American pay-per-view market is dying in terms of none of the fans buy huge pay-per-view. They don't buy pay-per-views anymore, hardly. I mean, the numbers are generally very poor. Canelo's the only fighter really that does big, good, decent pay-per-views. The rest of them, they don't do great numbers. So yeah, it's definitely worrying if you're an American boxing fan. It seems like the fighters don't have that same presence that they once did. You know, some of the fighters of the past and some of the stars that the of America before don't seem to be there. And even a lot of the guys that are bigger names are generally not American. You know, so yeah, it's definitely worrying. Boxing is definitely dying, I believe, in America. It's not as big as it used to be. But yeah, that's Canelo Alvarez fighting John Ryder. I think that's probably going to be the next fight. Is it going to happen in Mexico? We'll have to wait and see. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section, bro. I'd love to know your opinion, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.